G'day everyone, welcome back. No, I haven't put tinted windows on Kiarra. It's night time. This is your first time joining us. My name's Tim. We are on my 34-foot cruiser. Her name is Kiarra, and we're going to get some more work done tonight. I am actually filming this at the same time I'm filming the bathroom renovations. So I managed to get out on the boat basically straight after work and come out. I've started the bathroom and that'll continue tomorrow. But tonight I'm going to start what will probably be maybe a 3 or 4 episode electronics upgrade. As you can see up here, there's not a lot going on. We've got some very basic switches which all work. No real issue with them. Engine instruments that, yeah, well, they all work, I suppose. But what we don't have is any form of navigation, and the sounder is absolutely rubbish. It's broken. I'm quite certain that the transducer's probably got water in it. It just doesn't work. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to put not a chart plotter, although it is, or it will be, sorry. We're basically going to put a head unit up here. That head unit runs Android, and I can download Navionics mapping software on it. It also has an inbuilt GPS. Therefore, I can turn it into a chart plotter. That head unit also is a standard car head unit. So it'll do, all your music, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, so I can hook to the internet, bits and pieces like that. But we need to get it mounted. I don't really have a lot of free space, around here, but right there is asking for a 10-inch screen. So that's what we're going to do. I'll get it out of the box, have a bit of a chat about it, then we'll install it. I do have 2 more speakers to go in the boat as well. I have 2 down in the forward room down there. So one's right over the galley, the other one's over the table. And there's going to be 2 more out here, because at the moment the current stereo, when you switch it on, you can't hear it out here. So we're in the aft cabin area, obviously. You can't hear it. People in the forward cabin get deaf. People in the aft cabin can't hear it. So we're going to put 2 speakers out in the aft cabin, and that way we can fade the stereo front to rear. People in the front are trying to sleep, kids, whatever. We can fade it to the back, or all of them. Anyway, I'll get out of the box, show you what we got, start installing. Alright, so I thought it might be easier if I come in here and show you what we got. Now, like I said, it's just a pretty standard sort of in-car unit these days. Now, this thing cost me $95 off eBay. That was shipped, delivered, 95 bucks. Now, there's a few sort of question marks that raises as to how good can it be. And that was $95 with a reversing camera, which I'm actually going to put right up where my ankle light is, my all-round white light up top, and face it forward. I have a bit of an issue where if I'm at the helm and I'm trying to pull up to a wharf on the port side, I really struggle to basically get it every time because I lose sight of it. So that's going to go up the top and basically point forward over the top of the bow, and hopefully give me a bit more visualization of what's happening outside the boat. Anyway, we'll see. So this is I'd love to give you a brand name, but it doesn't have one. Effectively a 10-inch double din in-car, I don't know, stereo, basically. Full touchscreen, everything like that. GPS, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB inputs. It's a full biscuit, stereo. Pretty slimline, self-contained. The biggest reservations I have, like I said, is $95. It's also not marine designed. So how well can it work in a boat? Well, my uncle has almost the exact unit. I believe his is a little bit different, but basically the same, cheapest off eBay you can get. He's had his in his boat for quite some time doing this exact same job, and he's had no issues. His helm is also a lot more exposed than mine. You would have to really be doing something wrong to get water on the actually up on that gauge cockpit area. So anyway, that's our unit. Comes with, you know, all the plugs, leads, wires, everything. But what's going to be really good for us and make it really easy to install over there is the brackets. So I'm not even really going to have to cut any giant big holes in the bulkhead because it's got standoff brackets. Now these brackets just bolt to the side and they're just standoffs. So it should be pretty easy. I mean, that looks like it's going to stand off a fair way, but I've also got a grinder here. I have no issue trimming that down so it's nice and close so we can get it fitting good. Lots of inputs, outputs, GPS, comes with the antenna. Like I said, it was 95 bucks off eBay. I don't understand how they can make them so cheap, but they do. So I think the first step is, we can probably even go that way. It might be a bit close. Anyway, first step is let's get this sucker mounted to the wall, drill some holes, get some power onto it, and power it up for the first time. Oh, just get up there. All right, so I just really quickly, let's put that down. Really quickly zap them on a bit of an angle because the way it sits, which you'll see in a minute, needs to angle up a little bit. And screw holes still line up, sweet. So I'm going to put them like that. I'm going to put this on. Put the right way? Is that the right way? No, wrong way. That's close. That way. There we go. So we'll put these on and I'll sit it up where it's got to go. That lined up somewhere, didn't it? Yeah, there we go. We can bend him. We'll sit up where it's got to go and I can mark to put the holes in the back. And we will. Are you going to fit? I'm going to have to bend you a little bit, I'm sure, but we'll get it. We'll get it. Alright. We'll make it fit. I'll show you when it fits. This is about as simple of a stereo installation as it gets. Just put that over there. That's just the harness. Effectively, we've got battery, which should go straight to your battery if you were in a vehicle. It'll go straight to your battery all the time so that when you switch your ignition off, it doesn't lose all its memory. You've got your accessories, which when you put your car on accessories, it powers up. And a ground. Now, in this instance, I'm going to tie both of these together because the positive goes straight down to the main bus bar, distribution bar in the boat. And when I leave the boat, I actually isolate that. So that kills all the power to the boat except for the bilge pump. Actually, that's it. It kills all the power to the boat. Just the bilge pump runs and the solar controller still feeds the battery. They're the only two systems that are isolated from that isolation switch. So what'll happen, and it's a bit sucky, but you know, without a bit of extra work, which I'm just not in the mood to do. Yeah, effectively, I'll have to reconfigure my settings every time I go in, but it won't be. Well, it's not the end of the world. So we'll strip the accessories with, you know, not the right tool because I didn't bring my wire strippers. There we go. And be positive. Don't be negative. And then I've got actual marine cable here, which is pretty wild. So I'm going to run the black dotted line as a negative. So, you know, this will be a positive. Now I did bring heat shrink too. But what do you need to heat shrink? Heat. And I forgot to bring my I've got a little butane gas burner, which is fantastic for it. It's perfect for it. But I don't have one. Well, sorry, I didn't bring it. I have one, I just didn't bring it. So we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to solder these up and electrical tape them. I like electrical tape, don't get me wrong, but it's really not ideal for these circumstances. Now this boat, I think I mentioned it in a previous video. It's in desperate need of not a complete rewire, but certainly it needs a solid going over. I mean, all the lights work, all the sort of later wiring is all not too bad. But the boat's still got all the old wiring in it, and there's just systems on top of systems, which I'm now putting more systems on top of that and doing a, you know, ordinary job of it. So it just needs a solid going over, and it will get it. It's just not the priority right this second. And I'm sure I say that a lot, to be honest, and I'm pretty sure people will pull me up for it, but, you know, it's just not. That's hot, if you know. Anyway. Alright, now, negative. Ow! That's still hot. Get out of the way. Should be in bed by now. Well, not really, actually, it's not that late. Should have dinner by now. But, you know, this is what you do. You own a boat, you come out, you work on it. Sometimes you get to fire it up and actually run it around, but not today. Not today. So, anyway, I'm going to put this together. I'll electrical tape it all up. I've got some crimp lugs I'll put on the other end to go onto the bus bar. And all I got to do is hook the speakers up. So, like I mentioned, there's, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but there's a speaker up just above my head. And that wiring is already down there because that's where the previous stereo was. So I'm going to hook that up, and then at least I'll have music and audio coming out of here, and then I'll worry about installing the other two tomorrow when it's, you know, actual daylight and I've got a bit more time and I can make a bit more noise. It's now, what are we talking, 7:30? Something like that? Yeah, 7 o'clock. So I really don't want to go, you know, running jigsaws and hole saws and things at 7 o'clock at night when there's houses, you know, 300 metres, well, not even 300 metres that way. So got to pay a little bit of, show a little bit of respect to the neighbourhood. I figure if I do the right thing by them, they'll do the right thing by me, and everybody will get along just fine and dandy. Alright, we'll sort this out, and I might bring you back when there's something to show on the screen. More or less all wired up. And we'll plug it in and see what happens. Oh, get some stuff out of the way. Excuse my back. You'd think I'd be getting better at this by now, but I'm not. Okay, so just get off my foot. Get off my foot. Thank you. Righto. Put the GPS up there. Now, we're all wired up, so in theory if we plug this in and I've done it half right, come on, just work. Oh, hey, we're alive. Let me just shove these wires back down in there a little bit. I assume it's probably going to take a bit of a boot up sort of situation. So we can get that to slide back on here. Screws. Where are we there? There. Oop, really? Come on. Where do you go? There we go. Hey. 12:45 PM. It's not that late. Well, generally speaking, I would say don't drink and wire. But this point in time seems to have worked. What do we got here? Navigation. Probably don't need it yet. I may have to read a manual. Oh, the touchscreen works. Okay, righto, good. Audio, actually let's, oh, I didn't run the radio. There is actually a wire for a radio antenna here. Let's go radio. See if we get any sound out of it. Oh, we got sound. Ready? Shh. Static. But it's working. Let me see if it's coming out of both speakers. Sure is. Alrighty. Well, I think that's about where we're going to leave it for tonight. I need to have some dinner. Probably need to go to bed. I'm done. So let's go. What if we just push the power button? That didn't do much. Push it again. Oh, that mutes it. Okay, push and hold. Hey, there we go. Nice. Okay. Alright, well, that's progress. We'll catch us all in the morning. Alright, so we just finally got some breakfast into us. It took a while. I've got help though, so I said us. Mate's going to give me a hand today, get some bits and pieces done. Right now he's working on cutting the holes for the speakers out the back. So we'll go and have a geese. That's far more controlled than what I would have done. While he's doing that, I am going to see if I can get my phone to hook up to Wi-Fi on the head unit, because then I can get on the internet and download Navionics. So I'll give it a go. Bluetooth hooked up pretty quick last night, so that's good. Hopefully Wi-Fi is just as easy. Well, Zoobs are still mucking around with the speaker. I just got Navionics all up and running on this. That was remarkably easy. You know, if you can operate a normal tablet or something like that, you go straight in. Wi-Fi, hotspot to the phone, straight in, put your Google account in. I was lucky because I actually remembered the password first go. And yeah, that's it, downloaded. So the Navionics app, I went through a few, sort of looking at them when I come up the coast. This one was the best, as far as I could see anyway. It was $40 for a yearly subscription, and it gives you full offline mapping, so you know, I don't have to go back on. I don't have to hotspot again to the phone to get internet when I want to do it, and it gives you everything. Like, yeah, we've got a lot of isolated danger markers here. There's one out there, and then we've got a channel that comes in. There's a lot. This waterway is action-packed with issues, so this is really good software to have. Anyway, we're going to keep going, and we've nearly got one speaker installed, and we're going to get the other one done, and then we'll play some tunes. Alright, there we have it. Our first electronics upgrade for the boat. Massive upgrade, obviously. So that's our full navigation when it pops up. Come on, do it. There we go. So, full navigation maps. Now, we also got our speakers in, which is good. It all runs. It's still a rat's nest of wiring, but that's future me's problem. The next upgrade is a Wi-Fi transducer. So it's a standalone unit that bolts to the transom. You put 12 volts to it, and then it creates a Wi-Fi mesh that you link to this. Now that Wi-Fi transducer is specifically designed to run with Navionics software, hence, you know, what we're doing. When you put it on, link it to this through Wi-Fi, it turns that into the chart plotter and the sounder, but it also does full side scan. It does live plotting as well. So as you go over somewhere with the map, it'll put actual bottom contours and depths on the map, and it saves it. So it's a pretty trick bit of gear, because at the moment I don't have a depth sounder either. So no depth sounder, and yeah, it was pretty ordinary. But that's where we're at. Yeah, thanks for watching. Probably not a very long video when it all comes together, but yeah, that's alright. It was a pretty big upgrade, and it's also music and everything as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so already, please go down and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to the channel, and you know, I really appreciate it. It doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, right up. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Actually, just before I go, something that I'm sure there's a lot of really strange people out there will get a hell of a lot of enjoyment out of. There you go. Just because